Alright, yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I am still sick, but I'm gonna make this video for you guys today because this is a Good Friday, and damn it, we need good videos today. So like I said in the last video that I uploaded, that there will be 3 videos coming out today. Assuming I upload this one second, I guess, or third, I guess it doesn't really matter. But there's 3 videos that are either already out or coming out today, and this is gonna be one of them. Now, a lot of you guys might not know, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I love wrestling. I love watching wrestling. I love, just sitting down and being able to watch it. I love going to shows, going to events. Today, we're going to be reacting to something else that also, falls in that vein, but also something else that I love, which is lost media and wrestling. This falls into both of those categories very well, and this is wrestling lost media that's missing forever. Lost media is interesting because it's stuff that you're never going to see as a public, in the public, you're never going to see this. So let's see how good this is. Let's see what kind of stuff that I don't know about. Maybe I know about it, maybe I don't. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Lost media is a topic that has always been of great interest to me. Pieces of media getting lost in time and going unarchived. From a lost SpongeBob episode to obscure videos or media or creepy video games pulled from shelves, the world of lost media is a vast one. And the world of wrestling all is pulled from a lost SpongeBob episode to
the
obscure
SpongeBob one, yes, but I remember watching this as a kid. If anybody doesn't know what this is, I don't know if you can ever find this again, but basically what it is this car is going around the road and then they jump scare you. And there's like multiple cut into the same video. I remember watching this back in the day, bro. Like, it had to have been when I was in like 4th grade, maybe. Dude, I'm old. I'm getting old, man. I promise I am.
Videos or media or creepy video games pulled from shelves, the world of lost media is a vast one.
I love lost media,
and the world of
though.
wrestling also has its fair share of lost media too. Shows, matches, video games, and more that never made it to air or were made for public consumption. And in some rare instances, there are cases of lost media that are restored and found again. So today I thought to discuss a few cases of lost wrestling media that I found to be interesting. So let's get into it and leave a like for more wrestling lost media.
Okay. This looks interesting. I like this.
The WWE SmackDown vs. Raw series is a legendary set of wrestling video games. Unless it's SVR 2008. That game's kinda mid.
Yeah.
The SVR games ended on SVR 2011 after a total of 7 games in the series. But did you know there was actually set to be another installment of the series once upon a time, and it was gonna be totally free to play?
I thought there was a 2012 one. Am I tripping? No, because 2K took over in 2012. That's right. They have WWE 2K12. That's right.
SmackDown vs. Raw Online was announced in September of 2008 by THQ, with the game set to be WWE's first venture into PC gaming with the intention to revolutionize online wrestling gaming. The project was aimed primarily to target the Korean PC gaming market and was a tester for possible future projects aimed towards the wider Asian market.
That's interesting.
The game went through...
This kind of reminds me of Call of Duty Online. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically Call of Duty but in China. And even Minecraft has their own Chinese version, and it's like completely different than anything you would see over here. Like Call of Duty Online has a bunch of different skins and everything like that because they don't get a yearly release. It's always just Call of Duty Online, I believe. That's the only thing they get. And so everything packed into from every game is in that game. There's a bunch of cool skins and stuff that you can actually have. I need to do a video about Call of Duty Online because I think it's really interesting to show off. I think I'll do that eventually.
Many name changes before its official reveal, as it was found out to have been renamed to simply just WWE Online in 2009. But when the game did officially get revealed at the 2010 Electronic Entertainment Expo, aka E3, it had reverted back to the SmackDown vs. Raw Online name.
This was shown off at E3. Oh. Is this what they showed at E3?
WWE is finally coming to your PC online.
This is such a retro fucking It's so crazy to say that something from 2012 is retro, but like it is. Like this is such a retro like commercial. You would never see no shit like this.
Enter the ultimate WWE
But I love it,
universe
man. I love
on
it.
your PC.
This is the prime
The game
time
was
of my
set
life.
to have a whole bunch of features, including single and multiplayer online modes, as well as a
Okay.
hub where you can interact with other players and do things such as challenge them to matches and trade items. SmackDown vs. Raw Online, though, never had a set release date or time frame, though, until the E3 reveal, where it was announced that it would have a release in late 2010 that was being planned, releasing exclusively in South Korea. This, of course, would be delayed, though, with no sign of the game anywhere near that time frame, as it was instead moved to an early 2011 release date, once again
2011.
exclusively in South
Okay.
Korea.
So even
However, once
older.
that time came around, it would end up being announced by THQ in
That was when I started watching YouTube. 2011 was when I was like heavy into YouTube, specifically watching Minecraft YouTubers. Like that was like when I was a kid, like I was in elementary school. Damn,
February
bro.
2011 that the
old.
game, now once
feel
again
old.
called WWE Online, had officially been cancelled. And as a result of the cancellation of
wonder what
WWE
happened.
Online, as well as another game at the same
'Cause
time
that
by
would've been
THQ,
sick if
they
they
lost
did that.
nearly $10 million.
Damn.
To this day, hardly anything is known about this game other than what was shown at E3. No other game footage or build of this game has ever been found or recovered. All we have is those E3 reveal screenshots and footage and any other niche screenshots that you might be able to find. But other than that, everything about this game
I
is
wonder
pretty
what
much
happened and why they
completely
never did
unknown,
that.
And I, for one, would have loved
be
to see a
interesting if
build
they
of
did it
this game
now.
out somewhere.
But they
and I'm
don't-
interested
They're not with THQ anymore, but that'd be so cool if they did that again.
to see how an online game
'Cause I
from
wonder what the hell
2011
happened.
on the PC would have gone down in the wrestling market.
If they did like a SmackDown versus Raw Online 2025 or something like that, that'd be cool. I like
Hogan
that.
had his final WWE match at SummerSlam 2006 against Randy
Mm-hmm.
Orton, and Hulk, of course, signed for
A few years before that, had one of the worst SummerSlam matches of all time. It was the funniest one against Shawn Michaels, but it was one of the
TNA in late
worst.
2009, where he would
According to
also
wrestling
make his
fans.
in-ring return in 2011, and where he ended up having his final ever match. But many
Mm-hmm.
of you might not know that in that awkward 3-year period from 2006 to 2009, between his last WWE match and TNA run, he actually had even more matches. As from 06 to 09, Hogan had matches for 2 different promotions outside of WWE and TNA, and one of those promotions I've always actually been kind of familiar with, though, as one
I didn't know he had tattoos right here. I didn't know he had these tattoos. That might not be a real picture, but I don't ever remember him
of the
having
promotions
those.
he worked for in this time period was Hulk Hogan's very own wrestling promotion.
In the world of professional
really?
wrestling,
I did not know about
one
this.
man is king.
Get ready, Australia. I'm heading your way, and I'm bringing the greatest wrestlers in the whole wide world.
Hulkamania, the ultimate wrestling spectacular.
Wait, hold on, wait. What wrestlers did it show? Let me see if I can
Greatest
name them.
wrestlers in the whole wide world.
Hold on, let me see if I can name all these wrestlers.
Ultimate wrestling.
Hold on, I can't see shit. Okay, there's Umaga. I know Umaga when I see him. There's wait. No, Rikishi. Jesus Christ. I get the Samoans mixed up a lot.
It's on sale 9 a.m.
I do.
Thursday at Ticketek.
Let the battle begin.
I didn't
As from the
recognize any of the
21st
other
to
ones.
28th of
might
November,
just be a
Hulk
casual.
Hogan and wrestlers
Well,
such
there's
as
Ric
Ric Flair, the Nasty Boys, Val Venus, Mr.
Nasty
Kennedy,
Boys, that's who it was.
Rikishi,
Jesus
Umaga,
Christ.
and all his
And
future
Mr. Kennedy,
TNA
yeah, Mr.
signings
Kennedy was there
all
too.
traveled to
That's right.
Australia to do
Dude,
a 4-show
My brain ain't all the way there, guys. I'm sick. Leave me alone.
tour being promoted by
Don't
the
roast me in the
Hulkster himself.
comments.
It was the Hulkamania Let the Battle Begin tour, and it was also being co-promoted by Eric Bischoff.
Oh,
wow,
Lord.
how could this possibly go
Jesus
wrong?
Christ.
They did 4 shows across the week in Melbourne, Perth, Brisbane, and Sydney, with every night being main evented by Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair. Yes, in the year 2009. Just pure insanity. The tour though was filmed by an Australian broadcast company for a DVD release. However, these DVDs never came to be as the Hulkamania tour company went bankrupt in February 2010 and no DVDs or footage of the shows was ever released in an official capacity. It's almost
I know Hulk Hogan has done some wild shit, and I know he's not looked favorably upon in the internet's eye, but you got to give this man credit. And the reason I say that is because without him, wrestling might not have been what it is today. You know what I'm saying? Same with Vince McMahon. You can sit here and shit on him for everything he's done, which is like cool. Like you should, because it's awful shit. Both of them have done awful shit in their careers. But without them, wrestling wouldn't be what it is today. So you kind of got to give them their props a little bit just for that.
almost like flying loads of washed up wrestlers halfway across the world that nobody really cared to see and spending stacks upon stacks on travel and fees for them for the shows was never gonna make a profit from the start. There is some footage and photos of the shows out there which is from fans in attendance which can easily be found online, mainly of the Hogan vs Flair match. But there isn't much footage out there of any of the other matches from any of the other days of the tour, and there's also footage online of adverts and promos for the show like press conferences which can be found, but there is just no official broadcast of the show itself, and wherever DVDs were being produced were thrown into the Springfield tire fire. Like I said before, I've been familiar with the Hulkamania Australia tour before, mainly due to the fact I used to cover the Hogan era of TNA a lot on the channel, and the tour was closely linked to it. For the longest time though, I thought these matches were the only ones he had during his time between WWE and TNA though, but it turns out I was wrong. Because as it turns out, Hulk Hogan's first match after leaving the WWE in 2006 was actually only a year later in 2007, as Corey Macklin, the owner of Memphis Wrestling, came up with an idea for a marquee match for his promotion, and he wanted to go all out for it. And thus he acquired the services of one Hulk Hogan, who with big money on his mind was coming to Memphis to do the wrestles. And his opponent was set to be none other than Memphis's own Jerry the King Lawler in a first time ever match between the two. This was a huge match to be getting booked in a promotion outside of the major two, especially in Memphis. And so the show titled PMG Clash of Legends was booked in for the FedEx Forum, an arena with a capacity of up to 19,000, and it was all set for April 27th, 2007. However, this event would of course not be without its hurdles, as Jerry Lawler had to be pulled from the match, and it's for a very dumb reason. You see, Hulk Hogan used to have his own reality show about himself and his family called Hogan Knows Best. This show aired on the VH1 network, which was a network by CBS or Viacom, and they were planning on shooting footage from the event for the show. Jerry Lawler at the time they were doing this though was still working for the WWE, and they were allowing him to do this match. However, the issue came about was that WWE aired on NBC networks, and WWE talent contracts strictly prohibited them from appearing on competitors' networks, meaning they had just lost one half of this huge marquee match and a huge draw in Memphis, all because Hulk Hogan's Ball Liquor reality show wanted some footage. And so with that, a new opponent was found, and fair enough to them, because they actually found a decent replacement, all things considered, as Paul the Great White, formerly known as The Big Show, had recently quietly departed from the WWE, and he was set to have his first match outside the company after his contract had expired in February of 2007. And so the stage was set, and the event would go ahead with an attendance of 2,200 and some other interesting matchups with the exact kind of people you'd expect on a Hogan Legends show, including one Bubba the Love Sponge, who also had a match on this show. Man, get this.
Hold on, let me look at this. Greg Valentine. Dutch Mantel was there? No way, dude. No way. No way. Brutus Beefcake. Buff Bagwell. Brian Christopher. Jesus Christ.
This guy off this card.
Like, it's a decent card. Abdul the Butcher is crazy. But Dutch Mantel's crazy.
Why was Hogan so insistent of bringing that piece of shit everywhere with him he went? The event though, it might have been good, but you would never know that because the event didn't end up being a pay-per-view event despite all the money going into it and was never broadcast anywhere. And well, I think this can simply be put down to the fact that any and all focus and coverage around this show was only of the main event. People only cared about Hulk Hogan versus Paul White. The only official broadcast footage from this event is of the main event, which aired on CW30 in Memphis and features the full match with commentary. However, there's no entrances, and obviously, like I said, there's no footage of the rest of the show. The only footage of the rest of the show that ever aired anywhere was a short TV package made by the Memphis Commercial Appeal, which just shows a quick montage of moments throughout the show in order. You can find small clips on YouTube and online, of course, but this show in full, and even the Hulk Hogan vs. Paul White match in full with entrances, does not exist. And to be fair, I could probably guess that the reason they aired the match without entrances was because after Paul White came out, he got on the mic and in response to being referred to as the Big Show, said that the Big Show was his slave name and that he would only be referred to as the Great Paul White.
He did not say that. There is no shot bro said that.
So
There's
yeah,
no
I
way.
can probably see why they cut this then.
I don't
but
believe
yeah,
that.
it's just astounding to me that a show of this magnitude with this much money going into it was simply never filmed or broadcast or archived anywhere. And in case you just remembered something, no, there's not even any footage of this show from Hogan Knows Best. So they lost Jerry Lawler from this show for absolutely no reason in the end. Following this, Hogan would of course continue on with his failed business ventures and return to wrestling.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pause
and the
it.
Big Show would of course end up back in the WWE less than a year later. And with only a few matches left in his career, Hulk Hogan's match in Memphis ended up featuring his last ever leg drop. And he did it in a match that hardly anyone has seen. As for this show though, only fan footage of clips of this show out there exists, and you can't find any full matches other than the Hulk Hogan vs. Paul White match that only aired for the 6 minutes that it was on for. Anything else from this show is lost unless you have it, and if you do, I urge you to get in contact with me and send me any footage that you have. But guys, that's it from me for this video on Lost Wrestling Media. Like I said, Lost Media is so...
Hey man, look, that was really interesting. You know, I've got my own lost media in terms of wrestling, the Owen Hart tragedy. I think that's something that'll never be seen, and it shouldn't be. They've cut it out of everything. I don't think it should be seen, but man, that was crazy. This video was insane. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys drop a like down below, sub to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Peace off, guys.